The International Pieces of Peace Conference took place in Kabul, Afghanistan during the first week of December 2020. The conference Pieces of Peace gathered 130 youth from 13 different provinces of Afghanistan and representatives of Afghan diaspora groups from Australia, the United States of America, and Germany to discuss the role of youth in the pre, during, and post-peace process. The conference was divided into 3 programmatic days.
در این قسمت از امید جان میخوایم که سر استیج بیاین و گفتنیایی را که دارند در مورد از این پروگرام و اهمیت از این پروگرام امرای شما شریک بسازند. تشکر.
چی یک فرصت فوق العاده. ما از دیگه کدام چیزی بسیار کلان نمیخوایم. ما فقط میخوایم یک زندگی بسیار نرمال عادی داشته باشیم که نفس کشیده بتانیم، کار کرده بتانیم، همدل باشیم، صحبت خود کرده بتانیم. این همه قسم ما میخوایم. تمام تلاش و تقاضای ما از دنیا، از افغانستان، از سیاسیون نمی است که بر ما این فرصت بدیم که ما نفس بکشیم. ما بتونیم با فامیل، با خانواده خود زندگی کنیم. ما بتونیم هم لبخند براتون بیاریم. ما همی که این برنامه براتون مثمر واقع شود. بسیار تشکر.
یک کار هنری، یک پرفورمنس بود که روی انسان بود. انسان چی موجود است، انسان کی است.
The opening day focused on the achievements of the Let's Talk Afghanistan program interprovincial visits and how youth collaborations through the program help bring about a positive change in the lives of the delegates. The panel on the Let's Talk Afghanistan program discussed the experiences of the 6 provinces delegates during the interprovincial visits that were facilitated during the initial phase of the program.
یک سفر داریم طرف قندهار. وقتی که با خانواده شریک ساختم گفتن که بچه دلت مردن رفته. گفتن نه که زندگی سیر آمدی. ما گفتم که پدر جان قندهار یکی از ولایت‌های کشورم است و اگر قرار باشه که بخوام اونجا بمرم من میخوام اونجا برم.
Workshops and panel discussions, moderated by Mr. Hamid Ahmadi, discussed the Doha Agreement, what peace means to the youth delegates, conflict analysis on the driving forces of the conflict in Afghanistan, and local mechanisms that are available for peace building to youth in their communities. The workshops and panel discussions worked with the youth delegates on how they can think critically about any agreement that concerns their rights and freedom.
Boys and girls, which means working with different genders helped me out to know about their concept, what they are thinking and what their goals and what they can do for bringing peace.
The first day ended with music group performances and gatherings of the family groups.
Through many other fun activities that we have, like family time, music, and cultural nights. So I'm just very happy to be here, and a very big thank you to ArtLords for organizing this.
The second day of the Pieces of Peace conference focused on regional and international peace building and peace accords. The workshops and panel discussions took place with youth from different parts of the world who were connected with the delegates online in the conference venue. The panel discussion, moderated by Ms. Fatima Aaron, discussed a case study of Sri Lanka to learn about the peace accord in the Jaffna region and how cultural expressions can pave the way for social peace. The young delegates benefited from the experiences of the Sri Lankan youth who were directly involved in advocating for peace.
یعنی اگر با دیگه کنفرانس ها ما مقایسهش کنیم بسیار کنفرانس خودمانی هست و به نظر ما بیشتر جوانا گوش میکنن اما حرفای دل خود بگوین.
Moderated by Lima Ahmad and Kabir Makamel, the discussion on mental health and well-being of the Afghan youth focused on dealing with the effects of conflict on their personal lives. The platform connected all delegates at a personal level to share their stories of pain and suffering. The panel focused on how the delegates can deal with these issues.
مونږ خپل نظر چې تر اوسه پورې پټ پاتې شوی دی یا داسې که پټ پاتې شوی هم نه دی اهمیت نه دی ورکړل شوی دا هغه ځای دی چېرته چې ورته اهمیت ورکول کېږي ځکه مونږ په دې برنامو کې مونږ دا شی ریلایز کړو دا خبره مونږ ته معلومه شوه.
The youth delegates later enjoyed kite flying, a tradition practiced for hundreds of years in Afghanistan, and painting activities to relieve mental strain and stimulate the creative mind.
I'm attending the conference in Kabul for the first time, and I'm really impressed by all this unique and smart human beings around me.
Ms. Hila Najibullah talked to the delegates online about reconciliation during his father's presidency, President Najibullah, and social healing in Afghanistan. She emphasized the role of youth in reconciliation and social healing during the peace process.
چرا امی مضمون مصالحه را انتخاب کردم فکر کردم که یک آغاز خوب باشه بر صحبت امروزی ما.
The panel discussion, moderated by Ms. Zarlis Sarmast, focused on learning from peace deals and best practices focused on case studies of Colombia and the Rwanda conflict. The panelists from Afghanistan joined experts from Rwanda, Colombia, and the U.S. to discuss peace-building efforts in diverse societies. The experts from Colombia emphasized the importance of post-deal talks and social peace. Artist and activist Jair Daimate shared his experiences of how the artists and activists community try to portray the peace deal and the conflict through their work. The day ended with performances of pop music, parkour shows, art and handcrafts exhibitions, and traditional Afghan poetry.
ما بسیار نمایشگاه بزرگی را گرفتیم امروز و به خاطر جوانایی که از ولایات مختلف آمدن و از کارهای هنرمندان دیدن و از کارهای هنرمندان تقدیر کردن.
Family groups enjoyed a friendly atmosphere with each other.
دلته داسې حالت ولید چې زه خپله حیران شوم ما ته انرژي راکړه دا د صلح په فضا کې د ځوانانو راټولېدل په یو ځای کې او زموږ د افغانستان د صلح په اړه خبرې کول دا زما لپاره ډېر زیات مهم و.
The third day of the Pieces of Peace conference focused on the Afghanistan peace talks, youth's role during the intra-Afghan talks, the importance of cultural exchanges and networking with other youth groups, and the next steps of the Let's Talk Afghanistan program. The panel discussion, moderated by Mr. Fahim Kareem, focused on why the Afghan citizens should be forced to only have two state choices, Republic and Emirate. The panelists added that choosing only two options and limiting the people's choices is dangerous and may lead to events of 20 years ago in Afghanistan. The delegates discussed the two choices of state in their family groups and shared ideas on that can be the third option for the Afghan citizens that is acceptable to both peace talks parties. The youth said that through national consultation or Loya Jirga, the third option can be selected. The series of workshops on youth and violence through photography, moderated by Mr. Hakim Muzar, Feminine Perspective on Peace, moderated by Metra Mehran, and the role of Afghan diaspora in the peace talks, moderated by Bakhtash Ahadi, provided tools and mechanisms the youth can use to voice their concerns and demands for a youth-inclusive peace. The group's work, moderated by Kabir Makamel, Omaid Sharifi, and Zarlas Sarmast, discussed what the youth delegates will do next, how they can take the learnings and skills from the Pieces of Peace conference to their communities.
Get all the information that we have from the workshop and have a discussion on what's next for us, what's next for the young generation of Afghanistan moving forward, and how can they be a part of the peace process.
The conference ended with traditional Afghan performances from each province. The way forward for the Future Leaders League for Inclusive Peace, certificates of appreciations, to youth delegates for their efforts and participation in the Let's Talk Afghanistan program.
دو چیز مهمه که ما در کنفرانس در گردهمایی داشتیم این بود که ما یک نیت بسیار خوب داریم. ما واقعا تیم هنرسالار میخوایم دین خود ادا کنن. در اینمی فضای نامهربانی میخوایم ما مهربان باشیم. ما به مردم نشان میدیم که با وجود این همه جنجالا و ناملایماتا شما هنوز میتونین انسان باشین، احترام کنین، مدارا کنین و یک خلاق باشین. و دومش این است که ما کوشش کردیم اینمی مهربانی و محبت به اونمو اشتراک کننده ها انتقال بدیم. قصه هایی که من از این کنفرانس شنیدم مردم برای من میگفتن که اینا در زندگی خودت یک تجربه را نداشتن که بیاین با مردم مختلف افغانستان یک جای بشینن، یک جای نان بخورن، گپ بزنن، قصه کنن، درد دلشان شنیده شود، گپشان شنیده شود، راه حلشان شنیده شود، تئاتر کنن، موسیقی کنن، راههای مختلف از این را پیدا کنن که چطور میتونن در راه حل مشکلات افغانستان سهیم باشن. اینا حتی برای ما میگفتن که تمام طرز تفکر از اینا تغییر کرده. یعنی بسیار جالب است که یک نفر در 4 یا 5 روز اینا باعث از این شود که شما اینا را کمک کنین که فکر کنن، مهربانتر شون و ای که پس میرن با یک انرژی فوق العاده خوب در مناطق خود، در ولسوالی خود، در قریه خود برن و منظر خدمت شون، اما تغییر مثبت اجتماعی را که ما میخوایم بیارن.